Marco Karai is Honorary Consul of Israel and President of the Mayor Pediatric Hospital Foundation that supplies one of the largest pediatric hospitals in Italy. Karai is also Chairman of the Board of Toscana Airport, an entrepreneur, and a leading authority in cybersecurity. Thank you so much, Marco, for joining me today at the Media Line.
Thank you to you, Felicia. Happy to be here.
Italy has seen a massive surge in anti-Semitism, 400% more in verbal and physical attacks since October 7th. To what do you attribute this enormous surge?
There is an historical problem here because, let's say, there are two types of anti-Semitism in Italy. One is the extreme right, and you know that in Italy born the fascism. But now, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, is what happened. The anti-Semitism is maybe more concentrated in the extreme left. And the anti-Zionism was, and also now, the same face of the anti-Semitism. I can see what happened to me. So, as the chairman of the Children's Hospital in Florence, every day in the last more or less 6 months, they asked me in all the place in Florence, Karai, go home. In the hand of Karai, there are the blood of the children, or the Palestinian children. So it is amazing if you can consider that I pay as foundation and I bring people, children of kids of Palestinian, of let's say people in Gaza, to come here and to be, let's say, to take care of them. So it's amazing what happened.
Marco, yeah? Well, I have to stop you for a moment. I mean, that's absolutely mind-boggling. Here you're bringing Palestinian children for treatment in your hospital. You're helping to raise money. You're helping to bring them. And yet you are being blamed for what's happening in Gaza. And worse, I want to ask you, you are being guarded right now. You know, there's been anti-Semitism such to an extent that you're personally being threatened. So can you elaborate on this as well?
Yes, of course. I live with the military outside of my house. My kids are bringing in the school before that they come, arrive the police in order to see if everything is fine. I go with a blinded car. I have 3 police around me, and in any type of public speech that I do, there is the police with the dog that go before in order to, let's say, bonify the area. So it's some things that are unbelievable what happened, because every day I go in front of the judge in order to put in front of the judge people that are against me and against the Jewish people, saying that the Jewish people are the killer, murder a lot of people. In our hand is the blood of the Palestinian, etc.
Are you being guarded right now?
Yes, of course.
Do you feel safe? Do you feel safe?
No, I don't feel safe, because I saw that every time can happen some things, every time. So it's unbelievable what happened in the university, in Pisa, in the University of Pisa, during the inauguration of the, let's say, academic year, a student of an Arabic student coming from Palestinian made the speech for the inauguration, and it's like a sermon. And all the professors in front of me, in front of him, silence. And I try to tell, but what happened is a sermon in the university. I remember when the Pope in the University of Rome was forbidden to go to make a speech, and now a student of Palestine can do a sermon in the university in Italy against Jewish people, against Israel.
Marco, is there any pushback? Is there anybody speaking out saying this isn't acceptable? Are you seeing government officials? Are you seeing deans of universities? What is happening in Italy?
No. So in the current government is very strong against it. The Minister of University, the Homeland Security Minister, but in general, all the ministers. What happened? I know I have a lot of very close friends that of the left, and in private they say, Marco, you have reason, but please, for you and for your family, be silent. Please, Marco. And I say, no. Because if during the fascism, someone stay in silence, more people, Israeli Jewish people died. We cannot turn our head in the other part. We cannot stay silent.
Why is Florence the epicenter of all this backlash, more than any other place in Italy?
Yes, because here there is a very strong, let's say, community of Muslim, and because the Imam of Florence was the head of the UCOI. Okay. By the way, when 1 year and a half ago, they had to move the mosque in order to find another place. I help. I find it for. I find the new place, and they give money to tanks in front of all the city. And now I chat to him, but you can say some things. I'm Marco. I'm the same Marco 1 year and a half ago that you thanks in order to find a new place for pray for the Muslim. And he say me, but if I speak, some people don't understand, can be more aggressive than now.
Marco, there was a petition to have you step down as chairman of the Mayor Pediatric.
10,000 people signed this petition.
Where does it stand today?
Yes, it stands today, but I don't resign. I have the full support of the people at the foundation of the Children's Hospital, because they know who is Marco, and Marco is the same. And this is not a battle of Marco, is not a war of Marco, is not a war of my family, but it is a war of civilization. We cannot permit that the history start again like in the past. We cannot permit.
You have an honorary role as consul to Israel. Can you explain what your responsibilities are today?
So until the 7 October, what I do is like all the honorary consul do. Let's say, yes, it's not the same to be honorary consul, because also in the past, today, a famous chef called the Chef Rubio, also in the past attacked the Senator Segre, okay, and today is in front of the judge. So I make some battle against these people, but less than now. After the 7 October, is a disaster. I have a chat with the Israeli University in Florence, and I spend a lot of my time in the day to send a message to the head of the police, to the mayor, etc., in order to cancel in the wall, writing against Israel, against Jewish people, etc. So they are afraid to go at the university to begin. I have to give my deep thanks to the police, to all the people, because they are very, very collaborative. Very, very collaborative. But it's a disaster in the university, in the school, in the secondary school, in some, as I told before, social center. Also last Sunday, in a historical place in Florence, Santa Maria Novella, was 4,000 people, in theory pro-Palestine, but the fact against me and against Israel. I put in front of the judge one of the imam in Bologna, because during his sermon in YouTube, he said more or less that all the Jewish are the killer, that we had to murder or the Jewish, etc. And other people that work for an association that work in the public library in Florence every day, tell some things that is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Is there truth to the fact that you have members of the Democratic Party that are anti-Semitic?
Yeah.
And what is being done? Because this is what's helping to keep things, going out of control. It's absolutely impossible to stop it if the government is going to not get involved.
Yes, it's impossible to stop. We try, but it's like a wave. It's like a wave. And what we can do is that to put in front of the judge all the people that say there's some things in the social network, etc. But is the wave and the second wave and the third wave is a very big problem here.
Marco, what's going to change it?
Starting with education, we have to come back in the school in order first to learn them the real history of Israel, the real history of the world. Because the world, as we know, starts there with the Jewish people.
You've been involved in the greater Middle East, and we're talking also, about the MENA region in terms of the Abraham Accords nations too. What is your vision in terms of Europe, Israel, and the Middle East?
I think we have to divide two Middle East. Because, for example, in the United Emirates, etc., they know very well the history, and they are very prudent, but they are also, in my opinion, and we saw what happened when the Iran attacked Israel. They are very cooperative. And there is another part of the Middle East that historically is more linked into Iran and is not happy on respect to what happened with the peace of Abraham. I think, by the way, that the attack to 7 October happened also because we was very close to sign another peace of Abraham, and someone doesn't want that it happen.
Marco, borders, you have borders that are porous. You have all kinds of migrants coming into Italy. Do you think part of the problem that you're seeing is an influx of people coming from countries where terrorists could be entering your nation? And also the people that are coming in are coming from a mindset, many of them, that don't like Western values.
We have, as a West country, be able to integrate these people. But to integrate means that we cannot, let's say, step back from our value. The real integration is integrate in this value. Otherwise, there will be a division. What happened in France in Paris with the banlieue. So we have to be very proud of our value.
You were very involved in cybersecurity as well.
Yeah.
And Israel is thriving in this area, particularly during the war.
Yeah.
How do you see the role of cybersecurity playing, particularly now with the issues that we're talking about, the issues of anti-Semitism, the issues of the migrants, all these things that are happening? And you know, you mentioned social media.
Yeah, of course. So, and the social media is one of the very huge problem because, listen, in the past, when you, let's say, want to tell something, so you can tell to your little couple of friends, okay? Or you send an article, a newspaper, and the newspaper put it in the trash, okay? Now you can go in the page of the Prime Minister and tell him that he's Zionist. And so all the people read it and go follow you. And so it's like something in engine that create wave and wave and wave. So in my opinion, we had to block immediately this type of social media when they create problem with anti-Semitism. Is not let's say a moral state. No, it's not a moral state. But there is some strong value that the state has to defend in order to defend itself.
Marco Carai, thank you so much. I wish
Thank
you
you to you,
safety.
Philippe.
I wish you safety and appreciate your time with the Media Line. Keep us
Thank you.
informed.
I'm Israel Chai. Thank you.